Alrighty guys, here it is, a finished sketchbook. And before we all begin, this is an illo sketchbook. It's a really good sketchbook. This is probably my 5th illo sketchbook I've owned. Now, you can obviously, at the very beginning, you can tell when this sketchbook started. That's right, Inktober 2019, the good year. This is where it all began. So I was planning to make this my Inktober sketchbook. Didn't work out, that's okay. And as you can see, here's a little Harry Potter doodle. I did make a video on this little doodle here. So here's a little Harry Potter, a little Hedwig. And then this sketchbook remained untouched all through October, so it went into a Huevember sketchbook, and I spelt Huevember wrong, of course. This timeline of this sketchbook is from October 2019 to now. So we've got like this little sketch of an angel and a guy, like, I don't know what the story was. I had a story for it, don't know what it is. And then we get into Huevember. And I remember missing the first 3 days of Huevember. So here were the hues, and I combined them together. So I thought it'd be cute, like, you know, a little boy being dragged to his big brother's like date, and then he sees the girl that he likes, you know, typical storytelling stuff. And this was definitely a mermaid, so you can see like Huevember, mermaid. So November, May. So here is a mermaid playing with one of those all over tools, you know, what are they called? I don't know what they're called, but you know, they've got like the screwdriver, the little clippers, and the nail clippers, and the knife and everything, and that's what she's playing with. And then you've got Lumia right here, and he's really bright. And then you've got a cute little, it's not Bambi and it's not his mom, it was just like a deer that I had an idea for throwing eucalyptus leaves everywhere, but you know, that yellow color doesn't really work with the eucalyptus leaves. And then here's the other Huevember where it's my dog Sunny. So you got this big old sunflower, and then she was named Sunflower, and we call her Sunny, and that's what she looks like. And then here's Belle. So you can tell a lot of this sketchbook, I don't draw on the back of things that I like or want to keep. So obviously I didn't draw on the back of Sunny, I didn't draw on the back of the deer, I didn't draw back on Lumiere. So I choose which drawings I want to draw on the back of. So here's Belle, I did not draw on the back of Belle. So that was the next color, and then we go on to the aristocrats, cats. So here is Thomas O'Malley and Duchess, and he was the perfect color for the Huevember orange. This was going to be Rosie, so Rosie's our other little puppy dog. And look at Steven drew Rosie right here, if you could see that. Yep. So here's little Rosie here, and she was gonna have a big rose right here for the Huevember, but that I was gonna save for later. So we go on to Robin Hood, who was the perfect orangish red for that day of Huevember. Cute little doodle. I actually did a side-by-side of my previous year, 2018 Huevember that I made of Ariel next to this one. Totally different, huge difference in style change and just the fluid motions of her. She looked really rigid and stiff in the 2018 version. This one seems a little bit more natural and flowing. And then here's the pink one, the Bing Bong, Bing Bong. Who's your friend that likes to play? This actually turned out really good. I really like how this turned out. And then you have Aurora. So this was, I think this was the color I was gonna use for Rosie, and I never remembered to go back. And of course, this is what happens when you rip pages out of sketchbooks. Some other books, pages, usually get ripped. Oh well, we all learn. And then of course we've got Bianca for the purple day. She was the perfect shade. She turned out really good. And then a villain that I don't usually draw because she's disgusting. Yzma. And then this day was a haunted mansion kind of, I think this was a video too. I was inspired to make a haunted mansion Dapper Day dress because I really wanted to go to Dapper Day. And then nobody got to go to Dapper Day. All right, and then you can see Shelby right here with her little itty bitty penguin. She's so cute. So you can start to see her playing. I draw Shelby throughout this entire sketchbook because it was December is when I got Shelby. So we're actually getting close to December now because these were my plans for my screen canvas paintings that I wanted to do. So I had a gnome and a snowman and a cardinal, and then I was thinking about trees, and then I had a really cute snowman with cardinals, and those actually turned out really nice. And then, so you see, this was the very, very first drawing I ever did of Elsa as the fifth spirit. Spoilers. So you guys, onward guys, I was actually practicing these two before I did the tutorials for YouTube. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll try to go ahead and practice and sketch out each character I do a tutorial on, and then I'll go ahead and teach how to draw them. But first I want to understand them a little bit more before I jump in. So these were the very first two drawings I ever made of the Lightfoot brothers. And then you've got some Atlantis characters. Never finished this either. What I was trying to play with, you know, doing a color erase pencil and then actually go over the color erase pencil with some graphite sketches. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Then you have my wonderful little Ronald. So it was fall when I drew these. So here's Ronald playing in the leaves, and this was a terrible ballpoint pen. And this was for Thanksgiving. This is Steven. I think he was mad at someone because he drew Ronald. He said, I'm gonna eat him. And then Ronald, buff Ronald. And then here's Thanksgiving Ronald and the turkey saying, and that's why you should eat chicken. So this was the concept sketches that I had. I do more thumbnails than big old concept sketches. For my husband's like Christmas gift, I wanted to do him as an astronaut and do it more like a vintage propaganda poster. It turned out okay. I might redo it. Shelby had a really botched surgery when we got her, or like a week after we got her from her spay whatever operation. She had to wear the cone of shame. So this is a baby Shelby with the cone of shame. This is what I was experimenting with Posca pens for the very, very first time. And then here's the concept drawings of Shelby when I first got her. When we first got her, I wanted to draw her. She looked like a cartoon character because she just doesn't look like a normal dog. She's part Shih Tzu and part Schnauzer, so this is where I was trying to figure out what I should do with her. She's got a long body and a fuzzy pom-pom tail. Love this sketch right here. She's got a Shih Tzu face, but a long little schnozzle. And then Baby Yoda. An angel gets his wings. What's the saying, Stephen?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Okay, so there's Yoda going, every time an angel. So he's giving an angel wings. Because he's adorable. He's Baby Yoda and he does good things. This was kind of like in just an open page. Started to do this here. I think it was gonna be Rey and Kylo Ren. Not sure. And then you've got Stanley doing his crossword puzzle. Oh, that man, I love him. Okay, and then here's some more Posca pen doodles. So I got Posca pens. They're acrylic markers. They're really cool. Acrylic paint markers. So I designed this kind of like flabbergasted, I know that's a word, a flabbergasted dress. Yeah, we're just gonna go with it. And maybe a temporary kind of like a Belle shaped dress. I wanted to do, you know, the Belle shape, not Belle the princess, but Belle shape. And these pretty colors. Really love shading with those. And then the year that made us all go insane. So this was the beginning of 2020. And this was like right before we took Miss Shelby to get her surgery done, because it was on January 3rd. I remember it. It was horrible. But this is Steven and I and Shelby, and gosh, my style has changed so much since this time. Goodness, that doesn't even look like Steven. Oh my. And see, there's another thing. Remember, if you guys remember the Master Touch markers from Hobby Lobby, I said that I did not like the oranges or yellows. I just don't like them in general because look what happens. It bleeds through onto the other side. Doesn't matter what page. It's bleed onto here? No, didn't bleed onto there. But you can see all the oranges and yellows bled through onto the other side. My Copic markers don't even bleed through into the other side. That's what I can't stand about that brand of markers. But here's Miss Shelby, all doodled in and everything. I finally decided this is a good like concept sketch I wanted to do for her character. But even since this time, I have changed it drastically. Another Posca pen dress that I designed. Now for this one, these little drawings, these were for my new logo, so I went with this one right here. So I wanted to figure out what could I do for the logo wise for DramaticParrot, and I really like this one, but I liked this one the most. This is the one I went with. Colored it in through Procreate. And this is Anne of Green Gables. Hate this one. If I could rip it out of this book, I would. Can't stand it. And here's another good Posca pen doodle. And I did not want to draw on this side either. I don't really care for Anne of Green Gables. I just didn't want to ruin this sketch because I really, really like it. It's really cool. It's like a Cruella de Vil. Love it. Didn't like the one how this one turned out. I hate the way I drew his face and I hate how I shaded his suit. It's okay, but it's not my favorite, and I really did not like her dress. So I just kind of scrapped this drawing altogether. A couple of other sketches. I tried to redraw this one onto this one with the watermelon dress again. Didn't work out. I had a better idea on the other side. And then this is just concept sketches for a lesson I was teaching on in my classes I was teaching. And then, oh, here is Tiana. Did a video on this with the Posca pens and how I shade with them. And then this is just a different kind of approach with Posca pens. I did like very minimal coloring, shading, and just used ink to kind of fill it in. I love how it turned out, but I wasn't sure where I was gonna go with it, so I kind of stopped. And I was gonna do a mermaid up here, and it didn't work out exactly. Here's some concept sketches from 101 Dalmatians. Not concept sketches, they were just stills from the movie, and I went ahead and just drew them because I love these two so much. Unfinished Tangle 2 doodles. I don't know why I didn't finish this. It's kind of good. Alright, and then there's another little Shelby. She loves to collect shoes. We do not know why. She does not eat them or chew them apart. She just collects them and prances around in our apartment with them in her mouth. I don't know why. She's weird. So here's another Posca pen drawing dress. This is by far my favorite design of Posca pens, like doodle dresses that I've ever done. And this is another simplicity dress. And this is gouache up here. And this is Posca pens. I think this was a tutorial too. And then you've got Steven and me with our Posca pens. I think that was used in the tutorial. I love that. And then you've got Ronald with a purple ballpoint pen, obviously wanting to go to the beach or in Hawaii. And got some Posca pen swatches right here. All right, you've got, what's his name? Glenn Kelly? Gene Kelly, right?
Who?
Okay. The dancer from Singing in the Rain, because that's who this is based off of. And then you've got Grace Vanderhul from Stargirl, and this is Posca pen, half Posca pen and half Copic marker. So it's Posca pens up here, and the flowers are all Posca pen on her dress, so they really pop. Then you've got some wonderful Napoleon Dynamite sketches I never finished. So here's Pedro, here's Kip, and I never drew LaFonda. I need to finish these, they're wonderful. And then you've got Deb and Napoleon at the dance. I really need to finish these. The sketchbook is not done. And then these were used for my classes. Oh, that's why I never colored them in, because I didn't want to bleed through. That might not bleed through. But you see, this is with colored pencils, and you see how nice the colored pencils pop on these types of pages. So this is a good sketchbook for all different mediums. But you've got the fish and the rose, and you can see that outside of the shapes are just like black and white or empty. So that was the whole project with that. There's Shelby as a dragon. And this was my first original, wonderful Animal Crossing couple family picture. So this was like the first Animal Crossing picture I've done ever since Animal Crossing New Horizons. If you know me and follow me on Instagram now, you know I'm obsessed with it. So there's me, and there's Shelby because she's our neighbor, and there's Steven, and he's wearing a little NASA shirt. It's so cute. So that one was cute to experiment with. Didn't want nothing on the back. Here's a wolf, so you can see it's like, it kind of like flows down where you have a full grayscale up here, color, and then empty. I really like this one. This turned out really cool. And then on the back of this, you have a sunflower, never finished it. And then you've got this really pretty Hawaiian flower, forgot what it was called. And then you've got Aladdin and Jasmine. This was gonna be Ace Ventura. I might finish this still, because Steven and I decided we were gonna watch both Ace Ventura movies. We got on a really crazy Jim Carrey kick. Okay, so this is the most updated version of Shelby, and this one I like the most because it's adorable. So this is the finalized Shelby look right now. This is what she looks like. She pokes, see, so she goes to the door of the bathroom with her shoe in her mouth, and she just peeks around the corner and looks at you like, what are you doing? And you're just sitting on the toilet like, I'm pooping. No. So here's Shelby on her back. She does dead bug a lot. And again, here is the master touch markers bleeding through onto the other side. This was my all-time favorite villager neighbor. I didn't really understand the whole concept of villagers moving away and you could tell them no. I didn't know that was a thing because I've played Animal Crossings before, and usually if the people want to leave, they say, okay, I'm gonna leave now, and I go, okay, bye. But it really wasn't an option. So I didn't know that until Rosie left my island. I miss Rosie so much. Steven misses her too. Don't you, Steven? Mm-hmm. Okay. So Rosie, if anyone knows me on Animal Crossing, you have Rosie as a neighbor and you want to get rid of her, I will take her. Alright, this was a kind of a failed attempt. So windflowers are a real flower, in case nobody knew that from Animal Crossing. And these are actually windflowers, same concept of coloring inside. I didn't really like it. So this was a fun experiment. Okay. This is the first time I drew Belle. As you can see, her eyes are too far apart. Blech! And I don't really like her mouth. Blech! So, I drew her again. I don't like the way her hair was positioned, and I don't like her mouth on this one. So this was just weird. So I drew this one, and then I drew this one right after it, and I went, this is stupid. This is stupid. And then I go, that's better. So this is so much better because I was like, man, she's got to have a real come to Jesus moment, and she's got to be like when she's singing in the fields with the daisies and the dandelions and stuff, and she's just like, I want adventure in the great wide somewhere, and I was like, this is it. So no, yes. And then, if you can't see it, this is a Shelby scratch because she demands attention. So there's a big old scratch right down the middle of Naveen. But I thought this was cute because I thought, you know, you just snubbed your future husband. How many of that has ever happened to us in our lives? And I thought that was cute. And then this is a little doodle of like a witch, because you know how a lot of these retail stores are really speeding up the Halloween and Christmas process? I work for one of them. So I thought it'd be funny. I'm actually listening to an audiobook right now, and the main character is called Izzy, and I thought of like an Izzy the Witch. You know, she's all confused, like, what time is it? Is it fall yet? Is it Inktober? Because this is done completely in ink. So it's warm grays, a couple of colors, and a lot of ink filling in the darker shadows with just like a sepia toned PN micron pen. So on the next page was Steven and I recently watched the episode where Jim and Pam are really fighting for their marriage, and it just, you know, that moment when he hugs her and she's not hugging back until she just thinks it through and she hugs him back finally. It's such a powerful moment. It makes me cry every time. Those last 4 episodes always make me cry. But, you know, it's a wonderful, beautiful moment, and I thought I'd draw it. So I've drawn Jim and Pam several times, but by far, this is one of my favorites I've ever drawn in a really, really long time. And that is the end. So there you go. There is the end of my little sketchbook. It's not little. It's actually, this is a really good sketchbook for anybody who's interested in any of these. These are really good pages. I don't think it's acid-free pages. Somebody informed me about that. So that, I don't know, sketchbooks are kind of, for me, I look at sketchbooks as a place to practice or sketch things out. Nothing like really finalized. I've torn out a couple of these and I've given them to people as gifts and everything, but it's all just preference when it comes to sketchbooks. I think this will be my last illo for a while. I think I'm gonna switch back to a moleskin. I want a bigger moleskin, so possibly the 8x10 one that they sell. I was gonna buy that one instead of the smaller 5x8 one I usually get. I wanted a bigger one. This is an 8x8 illo sketchbook. So it's good. It holds a lot of mediums, as you can tell. Beautiful space to color on top of. I know a lot of artists. I think Jake Parker just got an illo sketchbook, but he also has another sketchbook on there I really want because Jake Parker is using it. So if he's using it, obviously it's good and I want to buy it. But thank you guys so much for watching this little sketchbook tour video. It's another accomplishment. It took a while to get this one done, but you know, life is crazy, especially 2020. You never have time to sit down and draw these days. Well, you do, but still. There's other things to draw on. Been drawing a lot on my iPad. But yes, guys, I hope you have a most wonderful day. And so far, I can tell you guys, sketch every day. Always keep these. Never get rid of these, because you can look back on them. There's so much improvement in them. Never throw these things away and fill them up completely. And don't buy new ones till you fill them up. Take my advice. All right, guys, I will see you all later. Bye.